Alright, welcome back. For this video, we're going to be making blasting caps and fuses. Now, I actually noticed I messed something up. So I'm going to click on the front view here, and I noticed, see how my strap is missing this piece through here? So I can fix that really easily just by going backwards in time. So I just need to find the sketch that I used to make that, which looks like this. So when I click on this sketch down here, okay, that's probably the sketch. Like this sketch is the circles, that's not it. It's going to be this one right here. I'm going to right click on it and do edit sketch. Actually I didn't want to do that, finish sketch. I actually don't need to fix the sketch, I need to fix the extrusion. So this is the extrusion that made, you can see it made that piece right there. So if I right click on it and do edit feature, I can click to the front view and I can say, okay, yeah, I'm missing that little piece right there. And when I click OK, it's going to fix the front one, and because the mirror was after it, it's going to fix the back one as well. So everything is perfectly fixed now. How cool is that? You can just go back in time, fix things, and they ripple through and fix everything else. All right, next thing to do is blasting caps. To do that, we're going to create a sketch on one of these inside flat pieces in here inside the Dynamite. So on that flat face right there is fine. And just like before, I'm going to project all of the other inside curves to my sketch. Click OK. I'm going to hide all my bodies real quick. And then I'm just going to extrude these out. So I'm going to hit E for extrude. And I'm going to extrude these out 2 millimeters. Now I'm going to actually turn the Dynamite back on so I can see what I'm doing, make sure I'm going in the right direction. And yep, that's the right direction. I'm going to come this direction, but only 2 millimeters. Now this part's really important. I want to make sure here that it says new body here instead of join. Otherwise, it's going to make the blasting caps part of the red, and I won't be able to print them separately and get different colors. So new body here, and click OK. Now when I did this, look at how many bodies it made. It made a ton of them. So what I'm going to do here is let's make a new folder real quick. Right click, new group. Yeah, new group. And we're going to call this group fuses. And I'm going to take all of these bodies. So click on the first one, hold down the shift key while clicking on the last one. It'll select all the ones in between those. Grab them and drag them up into the fuses folder. The reason we're creating a folder for it is now to hide them, to get them out of the way. We can just click on this and all of them disappear. So instead of clicking on 7 things and off 7 things all the time, we can do it one at a time. All right, next thing we want to do now is make sure your fuses are on, you can see them. We're actually going to do A for appearance. And let's see if we can just drop black on the folder. I don't think we can. Cancel. Nope, we got to do it individually. So I'm going to come up here and just grab black ones and drop them onto all of these bodies real quick. You don't have to do this step. I think it's cool to kind of see what it's going to look like as you do things, and it helps them stand out a little bit more. That's that one. All right, so close. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror these blasting caps to the back half of it as well. And to do that again, we're just going to do that same thing, mirror, turn on plane 1, so you have a mid plane turned on, and we're going to mirror all of these bodies. So I'm going to go through here and just click on all of these bodies. Be sure to avoid the Dynamite. You don't want it all blue, you just want those inside pieces blue. You're going to do mirror plane of this mid plane. You can see it's going to make those things back there, and make sure it says new body and not join. Click OK, and now you just have all of these bodies just got made. So I'm going to right click on the bodies folder and create a new group. And this group I'm going to be calling, whoops, double click on it. Oh man, close that. Group 2. And we're going to call this back caps. Click on that body all the way through all the bodies and then drag them into the back caps folder. Click on this little arrow to minimize the folder view. And there it is. I'm going to hide my plane 1, and now I've got blasting caps on both sides of my Dynamite. Awesome. We are getting so close. This next part's the hardest part. It's creating the fuses. To do this, we're going to create a rope, like how ropes are lumpy and they're like woven. So we're going to create some lumpiness, and then we're going to extrude that. Instead of straight out where it would look kind of boring, we're going to extrude it around a curved path. And while we're extruding it, we're going to twist it like the rope does. It's crazy how cool it looks when it's done. All right, let's get to it. First thing I need to do is create my first fuse, and that's going to be the central fuse. So if I bring back my picture here, I'm going to create the fuse out of this middle one and run it straight out the middle and then curve it up at the end just to give it a little bit of cool feature there. And then the other ones are going to come out a little bit and then dive down into the middle one. And then we'll like merge them together here. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this picture real quick. And I'm going to start on this middle one. So I'm going to create a sketch on this, ooh, it's hard to get, on this middle blasting cap. In fact, I might even turn off the Dynamite, turn off the back caps, and in here I'm going to find the middle one. Let's leave those on. That's fine. And now I can easily click on the surface because all the other things are gone. Okay, so I've got my sketch right there on this surface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a polygon and an inscribed polygon right in the middle. And let me pause for a second because I want to measure something before I move on to the next thing. All right, I just wanted to check the measurement on this. So I'm going to actually use an inscribed of, oh, first of all, switch over to a construction type, and then let's make it 1.5-ish. How does that look? That looks pretty good. And I'm going to try and line it up so that the flat side's on the top or the bottom. Hit enter. It's not quite perfect, so what I'm going to do is use my horizontal vertical constraint and just click on one of the bottom or the top, and that'll make that side perfectly flat, which will line up all the other sides. Everything's locked in now. Now that's going to be the center of my rope. I need to make the little bumps for all the little pieces of rope that roll through. To do that, I'm going to go create, I'm going to do a 3-point arc tool. I'm going to turn off construction lines. And to use this tool, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click on one corner of the polygon, click on another corner of the polygon, and then pull out a bubble until I see the tangent markers just like that. Boom, just like that. Now, if I notice that this lobe right here needs to be on all of these sides, but it goes in a circle around this polygon, I can actually make my life easier by just going here, up here, going to create, and then circular pattern. I want to pattern this arc, 3-point arc here, and the center of the pattern is going to be the center of this polygon, and I want to make 6 of them, and I'm going to hit enter. And now that's the shape of the rope with all the little lobes in it. When we extrude this out, we'll twist it and give it a kind of a really cool ropey look. All right, now the next thing we need to do, so I'm going to finish this sketch. Next thing we need to do is describe the path this is going to take. So this is going to go in a straight line out here, and then somewhere out here in the end it's going to curl up a little bit. All right, to do this well, what we're going to do is create a sketch that's flat across the middle here. And this part is the part that gets a little bit tricky. To do this, we're going to click construct, and we're going to make an axis. So an axis is like the center of a cylinder. So we're going to click on axis through cylinder. We're going to click on the outside of this center cylinder that we've been working on right here, and it's going to draw an axis, a line down the middle of that cylinder. I'm going to say okay. Now we need to create a sketch on this line. So we got to create a construction plane on this line, because again, if I just try and create a sketch, there's nothing for me to create it on that's sideways like I want it. So I'm going to escape out of that tool. I'm going to create a construction plane. I'm going to do a plane at angle. And that allows me to come in here, and I can click on this teal axis I just created. I can click right there. And I want to make this vertical because I'm going to have my 90 degrees. I'm going to have my fuse curl up. So that's going to let me do it curl up instead of curl to the sides. Click OK. Now I'm going to create a sketch on this orange big orange one here. I'm going to turn it so I can see it a little better. Yeah, I want it on this big orange plane right here. There's my sketch. I'm going to tip it over so I can see what's going on. I'm going to project this circle onto my sketch. And notice that when I project a circle onto a side of a sketch, it just is a straight line. Click OK. Click back to left. Now I'm going to hide the fuses. So I click here and hide the fuses. So my fuse now is going to start right at the middle here, go straight out here for a while, and then just curl up. So I'm going to click a new line, start right here at the middle, drag it out, and this should be about 60. Yeah, I think about 60 millimeters long. So I'm going to zoom out so I can see it a little better. Make sure it's out here perfectly flat. Click, and then I'm going to click and drag a curl into it. I don't want to go full vertical. So like this, I definitely don't want to go back this way. It'll be hard to print this. I want to keep it from like, just like out at a weird angle like this. And I'm going to do it about like that. Escape. See how it's still not vertical right here at the end? It's still kind of angled up a little bit. That's kind of what you want. And you also want to make sure that this has a tangent from this circle to this. If it doesn't, you need to use the tangent, click on this curve, and click on this straight line until you see this tangent symbol. To use the next technique we're going to do, we need to have the tangent symbol on all of our intersections between curves and straight lines. All right, so we're done. Finished sketch. This is the path the fuse is going to take, and this is the shape of the fuse that's going to follow this path. Now, if we just do normal extrusion with E, it only extrudes straight. So we have this other cool feature called sweep. So under the create menu, I'm going to click on sweep. It's going to ask me, well, what profile do you want to sweep? I'm going to say, all right, I want to sweep this profile, this weird shape, right, this rope shape. And the path it's going to take is going to be along this strip. And notice how it just drug that through. How cool does that look? So if we actually turn the dynamite back on and the fuses back on, you can kind of see how that's going to look. Now it doesn't have that twisty shape of rope, like it's braided. So to get that, I'm going to add twist angle, and I'm going to add a lot of twists. So 360 degrees is one full twist. We're going to want a couple twists in here, so I'm going to do about 1,000 degrees of twist. I know the temptation is to put in 1 billion degrees of twist, but all you're going to do is lock Fusion up for 5 minutes as it tries to calculate 1 billion degrees of twist. So feel free, I guess, but you'll be sitting there staring at it for a while. All right, now that's not really very twisty. I might go 1,200. Let's see how better that looks. Yeah, that's the right twistiness. That's what I'm looking for. That's good for me. Make sure it says join here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to join this fuse to this blasting cap so they're one thing. Is that true? No. Make sure it says new body. We actually want this to be a separate body for now. And then just click OK. All right, awesome. We just made this central fuse. Now we need to make one fuse coming out of this dynamite, out a little bit, curling down, and then coming into this one. So we'll dive it down and dive it into it. And then we can use this one fuse we create here, which will take a little while, to do a circular pattern to make all the rest of them really fast. But that's going to be the next video. Good job. Hang in there. Let me go back to home view real quick. And let's put the straps on so we can kind of see what everything looks like. Oh, that's starting to look like dynamite. All right, we'll see you soon.